Hey everyone, it's Mark with Mark's Virtual Real Estate Channel, and we're back with another video. I'm back from vacation, so I took a little break from doing videos on Upland and virtual real estate, but I'm excited to get back in the swing of things. I have a lot of cool videos coming up, so if you've not subscribed yet, now would be a great time to do it. I'm going to talk about how I did on vacation without doing very much at all in Upland. How we sold quite a few properties, and some of the properties I really liked, and I'll talk about why I sold them. And then we're gonna do some more videos about collecting yield versus flipping, which is better. And cars, there's some more announcements for cars in Upland. We'll talk about that here coming up as well. And then some other really cool videos I want to talk about too, as far as collections and different things and different strategies for the game. So we love the likes, love the comments, keep those coming. And of course, I also have my real estate YouTube channel, Invest for More, with Mark Ferguson. So check that out if you want to see what we're doing with rentals, flips, even buying businesses and a liquor store and a mini mart, and see what's going on there. Okay, so I went to Disneyland with my family. I've got 3 kids, and my wife was there too. I have 10-year-old twins, boy or girl twins, and a 2-year-old. So it's always kind of crazy. And I'm like, hey, Upland is probably too much in my life, because I'm like, I wonder if I can go to some of my properties in LA. But Disneyland is down here in Anaheim, and we spent one day at Huntington Beach. So yeah, not anywhere close to the area where I own properties in Los Angeles. But things in Los Angeles have been starting to pick up some. I've been selling more properties here. The floor in San Francisco has been rising significantly. I've been selling properties there. So I think even though there's a ton of properties for sale in Los Angeles still, I think things are looking up. I think definitely a lot of potential in future for Upland. Is just not quite as crazy as it was when the Bronx and Oakland or Berkeley and Alameda were released, and everything sold out immediately, and there's tons of flipping. But that doesn't mean I haven't done extremely well in Detroit. And we're going to talk about that. And you might notice right here, my UPX balance has increased a lot while I was gone, and I even bought a few things last night after I got back. So what has happened since I've been gone? Well, as you know, they announced the collections last week, or actually the week before last week, and I bought a bunch of more properties in other collections. And then since then, I've just been selling other properties, and they've been some really high dollar property that I've sold. Some of the most expensive properties, well, the most expensive properties I've ever sold in Detroit, and it's really helped push my net worth up. And that's something else I want to do a video on as well, is how much money Detroit has made me here. Because yeah, I started with quite a bit less than this, a lot less, and didn't even spend that much money in Detroit. I think I had $400,000 or $500,000 in UPX to spend, and done very, very well there. I think some of this might come from LA, but a very small percentage, almost all of it's from Detroit. So what are the big properties that I've sold? And if you saw my first video that went over the Detroit release, I film all of it while I'm doing it. I really focused on, where am I? This area right here. That's where my Explorer was walking through when it was released, and he came right through this area. And I was able to buy this theater, this property, I think 2 more properties right on Woodward. And my strategy was to sell them before the collections were announced, just because I don't like to take that chance and risk of having them be worth nothing. And there's a lot of speculation about Woodward being, a collection. And then Brush Park ended up being a collection too. So I had properties as double collections. But like I said, I sold most of them before the collections were announced. But I kept this theater. And I actually sold these properties, almost all of them, to the same person. Or I traded them. I traded one of these for property on Mulholland Drive and one in Bel Air in LA as collections. And then I ended up actually trading the Mulholland Drive one for a property in Manhattan, already with a townhouse apartment on it. So that was kind of cool. I did a real short video about that while I was gone. I did do one tiny video. But this theater was one I really wanted. People love theaters in Upland. They can be very valuable. And this is my most expensive sale ever. And if we go to my messages, let's see if we can find it. I didn't sell it for my asking price, but that's okay, because have to scroll down here. It happened right at the beginning of my vacation, I believe. And then there it is. 400,000 UPX we sold that property for. So that was pretty cool. I think I minted it for 30 or 40,000, maybe it's less than that, but somewhere $20 to $40,000 I minted UPX. I minted it for. Sold it for 400,000. The other ones along here, like I said, I traded for Mulholland Drive one, which ended up being worth 180 at least UPX, buying a property in Manhattan with an apartment on it. The Bel Air one is worth probably close to 180. It's a bigger Bel Air property. I sold these other ones, I think for 150 to 180,000 UPX. So I made a ton of money on this Woodward Avenue. That worked out very, very well. And this one was my biggest sale ever and very, very cool. And something else that helped me do is they had the Thrifty Challenge. Let's see if I can find this. The Thrifty Trader Challenge right before I left. And I was not even in the top 200. I've been selling properties in Brightmoor, some other collections, just flipping a lot of small properties. And then I even made some bigger gains on the Grisho Street, however you say that. And I had some pretty big profits there. I still wasn't in the top 200. So I feel like I sold way more properties, had more profit, better sales than the Los Angeles Thrifty Trader, but I wasn't in the top 200 until I made that big sale. And that happened during the Thrifty Trader Challenge, which was awesome. And if that person is happy to buy that property because I own it, thank you so much. That's amazing. Or if it's just random, hey, that's okay too. But let's see, we're going to go to the Thrifty Trader. There we go. And so after doing that, and selling some Detroit ones, I ended up in the top 50 in Thrifty Trader for a while, but I didn't quite stay in the top 50. I ended up being, where is it? 55. So I don't know how they figure this score for margin and efficiency score, but it's 55, which means I should get some Spark, a new block trader, and UPX, but we'll see if that happens. I feel like I was in the top 100 in LA, and I didn't get any Spark then. So let's check that right now, actually, and see. 1.37 still. Okay. So that happened while I was gone. That was pretty cool. I have a lot to talk about. I also finished the building in one of the nodes and had some cool help there too. So we'll talk about that here in a second. And then some of the other properties that were sold, you can see this. This is Grisho, I think that's how you say it. Gratshaw. G Street. I bought like a ton of property, 12, 14 properties along here. I have one left. That's it. And the only one I have left is, come on. Well, it's a gas station. It's not showing it, right? I believe that's my I wonder why we don't have the labels on here. Maybe the settings aren't here. Unless I accidentally sold my gas station, which I don't think I did. Sometimes they don't, it just doesn't work right and show you. But anyway, I'm 99% sure that's my Marathon gas station. And I'm selling, that says Chase. A lot of these aren't labeled that were labeled before. That's weird. Anyway, I had a couple other labeled properties that I sold all of them for really nice profits because these were minted for very cheap along here. There's a Marathon gas station for sale right there, 200,000. And I minted a Church's Chicken, which I talked about a lot on here. And let's see, am I too far south? Maybe that's the problem. There it is. Okay, that other one was one I bought after I sold a bunch of them. So I bought, I've just been buying good deals I see on Grisho. Kind of like I did on Telegraph and some other streets in other areas, and it's been working out very well. There's my Marathon gas station. I'm asking $200,000 for it. No one's bought it yet. But I had this property. I think I had this property. I think I had, one of these maybe. I know I had the nursing home. A lot of these properties. I had a bank along here. There's a liquor store I flipped. I didn't mint it, bought it, and then flipped it. I own this property right here. I think I own that property. And where's my big one? Oh, one of these properties I own too. Oh, there it is. So this is my other second biggest sale. We'll go to my messages so I can show you. I sold that one for 280,000 UPX yesterday. So I really like this. It's kind of cool owning a big giant grocery store, but I minted it for 100,000. Again, made a lot of money on it. So I sold that one as well. And then we also sold, there it is, the Church's Chicken, for like 80,000, I think. So that was one I tried a long time to mint, and was having a lot of crazy issues minting it, but we got it. So all of those have done really well. I minted that for like 6,000 UPX, sold it for 80. So my strategy to buy on streets worked very, very well. I did not have that strategy in the South LA release, and it didn't work out as well. I did have it in the North LA release. It worked much better. Bought a lot of properties on Sunset that made me a bunch of money. So I think buying on popular streets has really worked out well for me and helped me make a lot of money in this area. So other things I did in the Thrifty Trader, I bought some properties in Jefferson Chalmers, a collection, sold a bunch, and I've just been buying them. If they pop up really cheap, I've just kept buying them. So if I see stuff that's really kind of cheap in here, I just keep buying it. And I'm kind of assuming the floor, yeah, if I've been seeing stuff less than 18,000, I've pretty much been buying it. It's going to go up. That's what it's done in LA and other areas. Just the collection floor, keeps rising and rising and rising until a new city is announced and it decreases. But here, Brightmoor, I bought a ton of properties here when the collections were announced for the 5,000 to 6,000 UPX range. Sold a lot of them for a pretty good profit. And then I've just kept buying properties here too that were a good deal. They're so cheap. I've bought quite a few for under 8,000. And so again, I'm just assuming that floor will increase over time and then I can sell them more for later on. Okay, so that's all that's happened in Detroit. I'll talk about, I'll go into detail on how much money we've made there. It's been fantastic. Like I said, we made a trade for a property in Manhattan. So that's kind of cool. We have 2 properties in Manhattan now. Both have a building on them, right? This one, someone gave me this lot at Mint if I would build something very cool with them and help me build with their Spark. That was also very helpful. And then we have this property over here that I was traded my Mulholland Drive property for that has a building on it and has a very valuable building. And the floor in Manhattan is going up too, last time I checked as well. And then let's see here, over in Los Angeles, I talked about it too before I left, building in a different node. And I was building in the Central City node. And it was very cool. I haven't been able to find the Central City node because YouTube's weird. If people post links, sometimes they think it's spam. They won't let you post it. But I'll get on there soon. And I did a comment, question to everybody. Hey, where should I build my node or my property at and what node? And most people said Century City. That's how I picked that one. And you can see it's finished, but I had 7 people stake Spark for me on this property to help me build it faster. So thank you to everyone who did that. And then I got a message from them saying they really like my channel. They got together and sparked properties for me. So thanks a lot for that. And actually, I bought that for 106,000, and I was just looking at something. So I was using Upland Optimizer, but I really like UPXland better. I feel like it's updated more. And no, I did not mean that. Let's see here. And also, if people still can't get Detroit on here, hopefully it shows up for me. It's been showing up. Yes, now. You can open an incognito building. I don't want to go to Detroit. You can open an incognito browser, get it there, refresh your cache, get it that way. So there's lots of, there we go, ways to help fix that. But I bought that for 106,000 UPX a few weeks ago. And I looked back, I'm like, hey, maybe I should buy another one in Century City. Their floor is rising a lot. So that's kind of cool to see. So for right now, I don't know if I'm going to continue doing this. My building was finished. I felt like I just needed to start another building. I started another building on my property. Where is it? Yes. In the Lazy J Ranch, which is another node. So I just started one here. Let's see if anybody's helping me out. I haven't even told that node or anything that I was building there. Nope, just me. So 31 days left. But there's also the Sunset node in San Francisco. I still have a property there. I actually sold a couple other properties I had priced a little higher there because their floor is going up. So that was cool too. And I don't know if I'll finish that one all the way or jump around somewhere else, but that's where I'm at right now. And a lot of really cool stuff going on. So now, I guess my strategy is to figure out, what to do with my UPX. If I just save it for the next city release and just try to spend all of it on streets again, it worked out really well here. If I want to try and flip properties in collections, expensive properties, buy some more on Grasho, or buy some more on Woodward. I did buy another one in Brush Park. I had 2 in Brush Park, 2 very small ones here that I bought, and I bought another one that's a big one right there you can see, just because I want to complete that collection, boost my earnings for those properties, and that was a good deal based on the mint price and yield value. Again, we'll talk about that in another video about yield versus flipping. I'll probably buy another one on Grasho here too, just to complete that collection, and heck, I might do that right now. So when I've been looking at those to complete a collection, sometimes I look at the cheapest properties, and sometimes I look at the mint price or the yield you're getting. It just depends on my strategy, how long I think I'm going to hold it. If I think I'm going to flip it really quick, or I'm trying to do the thrifty trader, I'll literally just buy the cheapest one I can, because most people looking to buy on here a lot of times buy the cheapest one. They don't look at the mint or markup. So I had someone complaining about me not knowing how to play Upland or do it because I just bought the cheapest properties. But I'm doing that because that's what other people do. And so if I buy the cheapest properties, they can become the easiest properties to sell. Whereas if I'm going to hold them for a long time, then I care about the markup. So you can see here, here's the cheapest properties on Grasho, again, G Street, and here's the markup where you can see how much above mint they are. So like, here's a cheapish property. It's got kind of the biggest size. It's not, here, we'll expand this just to see what else we can find here. But that pops out to me because it's affordable, it's cheap, and if you have to scroll all the way down to there to 79,000 to find one with a lower markup there. Oh, there's one. It's got a pretty good markup. But again, the more expensive you get, the harder they are to sell. If I'm buying one that's one of the cheapest properties there, I think that's a pretty good deal, and I'm okay paying or getting one that isn't the best markup just because they'll be able to sell faster, easy later. All right, so it's that property there, 45. Hey, let's see what it looks like. Oh, that's beautiful. Ooh, you have to love Detroit. All right, but another thing, what these properties look like in real life doesn't mean they'll be, that's what their value is based on in Upland, right? So there we go. We have that collection. We'll wait for it to mint and become, or not mint, but transfer to my name. Then we'll complete that collection there and possibly put those up for sale too at a slight markup and see what happens there. That's been a pretty good strategy for me as well. So for now, love to hear what you guys think of Detroit, how it's gone for you, how you think my strategy was. Love to know what you think I should do with my UPX balance here, if I should be investing it in a certain area, different collections, if I should be flipping it or buying for yield. I'd love to hear what people think about that. Love to hear about other nodes that are popping up or coming up. Love to hear what you think about the cars that are coming up in the game and see what you think there. So a lot of exciting things are happening in Upland. I've been gone for a little bit and still paying attention a little bit, but definitely not spending a lot of time on it. And we'll have a lot more cool videos here coming up soon about those things, so make sure you subscribed. Love hearing your feedback. We'll be back soon. Thanks a lot.